You gotta have in anything, whether you're leading a team or leading a company or a game, and you watch, you go, what was that thing?
I had that conversation today with ESPN. I have a way of doing it. I have a way of getting it.
All right, Kim. Well, this is our next Grubbin with G. It's a little series we're doing where I get to interview local celebrities or athletes or maybe one day politicians. You know, I'm thinking working in some of those types, John Bell or the mayor, and just try to get the community to know people better. And so you're on this episode, and you were kind enough to let Mackenzie and Kramer join us, and we're going to hear from them a little bit, what's going on with their lives. And I know as much as we've talked, your children are just, your world. And now
They
your
are,
grandchildren. That's
and
right.
grandchildren.
That's right, and the grandchildren.
Gordon, I will quit my job for my family. It's just who I am, and gosh, I'm glad they're here with us tonight, and I'm just excited. When they come, I don't get to see the grandchildren every day, but you know what I do? I'll FaceTime them and don't say anything, and I'll just say, put the phone right there so I can watch them play.
Right.
So
like
I'm good.
5 times a day.
Yes, at least 5 times a day, but that's what I do.
All right, so I heard a second ago your grandmother nickname, and why don't you tell everybody what your nickname is?
Well, I'm not Greek.
Right?
I'm not anything but a yaya.
Yaya.
And most yayas are from Greek descent. And don't ask me how we came up with it. I don't know if it was I watched Yaya Sisterhood years ago, but that was the name that stuck. So they call me
So
Yaya.
you're Yaya, and Kramer, what is your uncle nickname?
I am Unc.
Just
When
Unc.
Cannon was little, he couldn't say Uncle Kramer, so he just one day started running around the house yelling Unc. And it stuck, so now
You're just Unc.
just Unc. So.
That's all he knows him by.
And there you, mom, mommy,
I am anything.
anything.
All of the above. Mommy, daddy, mom.
So tell everybody how many kids you have and ages and
Yes.
everything about that.
I have 2 kids. The oldest is a boy. He is 4, and the youngest is a girl, and she's 1.5 years.
What are their names?
Cannon is the boy,
Uh-huh.
and Sage is the girl.
Okay. So you met my wife across from you, Shannon. She's a mother of 4. We got 3 daughters, and then John Gordon
And then
here.
along came the boy.
He's our
huh?
baby.
Prodigal son, or
He's
There
the
you
prodigal
go.
son.
And that's when Shannon said, no more.
That's
We're
right.
done.
And you were a really good baseball player. I don't know if everybody knows that, Kim.
Well, Gordon, you're digging deep now. Yes, you know the very first trophy I ever won in my life was a skating marathon. Every
Really?
Friday and Saturday night, I'd go skating, and then after I got through that phase, I was at school.
Right.
Fall after that, and they were handing out Dixie Youth applications, and you have to remember I was right in the middle of integration.
Yeah.
And I was the first one that all the boys picked at recess to be on their team. So I thought, well, I don't have anything to do in the summer. So I kind of snuck one of those applications and put it in my books and took it home and tried out. And I was the first one selected. And you know what that meant? I went to the worst team.
Right.
So I was a pitcher, and
Yeah.
I was a catcher and a shortstop, and made the all-star team and went to the all-star tournament and was basically taken off the field. This is when I needed you, Gordon, you see.
I
said
understand
I was a girl.
your
and
dad had to file an
had
injunction.
all kinds of people there, and I had to make a decision as a 12-year-old that no, we're not doing this in the middle of a game. We're going to win this game. It would hurt my teammates. And they wouldn't even let me sit in the dugout. And I stood outside the dugout and tears flowing, and I tried not
Right.
to show that. But I played 2 more years with the guys. I played Pony League for 2 more years and made the all-star team my 2nd year of Pony League. And wonderful, wonderful memories. I loved it.
Right.
And then I started high school, and then you started having more sports available for the girls. So moved away from that. Great memories. Now, I did it for all the right reasons.
Right.
Didn't have bitty ball at that time, for girls, and I just thought, I need something to do.
Right.
And that's how it got started. I'm one of these, don't go do it just because you're a girl.
Right.
If you can't beat them, you can't hold your own, don't do
Don't
it.
do it,
You're
right.
doing it for the wrong reasons.
And speaking with Angel the other day, talking about the girls, the men interplay.
Oh,
And Angel can get a little colorful on the court. And she's trying to bring some recognition to the fact that she believes, and probably some truth to it, that men in sports can get away with a little bit more.
Well, I
And when a
don't.
woman trash talks a little bit, it's just not accepted. What do you
Gordon,
think about that?
I had that conversation today with the ESPN crew, and they talked to me about that. And I said, look, I talked trash when I played. And I said, there's a fine line between talking trash and being vulgar and
Right.
being flat out disrespectful.
Right.
You know, there are certain things that, or you probably heard it back when you played
Yep,
sports. And,
yep.
and she and several of us have done that as female athletes. And I tell her, if you cross the line, then I get involved. She got it technical for it. And I asked her what she said, and she told me. And I just didn't feel it was horrible to where I needed to do anything to her.
Yep.
And
I agree.
I told the story to the team. Gordon, I remember before the '84 Olympics, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Kevin McHale, Quinn Buckner, and all that crew, and they were pros at that time, and they were playing against our '84 Olympic team, Michael Jordan, all these great players, Patrick Ewing, and I just sat and watched them scrimmage and play, and I wish I would have recorded it, the trash talking.
It was unbelievable, huh?
It was unbelievable. And when the game was over, they left that court and they all went and had a cocktail or drank a beer together.
That's right.
That's what ballers do. They push each other. They're trying to gain a competitive advantage. I don't think maybe the average fan probably likes it, and they probably think that's not good for little girls to hear. And I don't disagree with that.
Right.
But it's the realm of a heated moment. You know, you have people that do a lot of things in the heat of the moment.
Right.
And I thought the official, by teeing her up, didn't let it get out of hand. It didn't become a confrontation.
But he was like, realistically, bro.
But I'm very aware of being trash talker and vulgar.
Right.
And,
She told me what she said, and it wasn't vulgar.
No.
It's just in the heat of play.
Yes.
And it to me, it's got to be the play of the year in women's basketball.
Holding a shoe.
Holding a shoe. Play of the year.
She's holding a shoe. She sees her teammate is beat.
Right.
So she's like, I really need to stay in this play, and she just blocks the shot. And I initially thought the reason she got the technical was because when she blocked the shot, she looked down at her for an instant, and that is an automatic technical now, because they're finding even on the men's side that it becomes confrontational and you have to break up two teams. But she said, Coach, that's not really why I got the technical. I think it's what I said. And she told me what she said.
She's a passionate player on the floor.
She is. She
Love
is.
watching her.
She just wants to win.
She does.
I had this same conversation with the team today, and I said, you know, Angel Reese, as well as Flage, Alexis Mars, I've got quite a few on my team that their will to win is as intense as any
anybody.
player I've coached. And people go, well, there's a lot of us will to win. I said, no, there's a lot of you that don't like to lose.
Right.
But 15 minutes from now, you're laughing and you've forgotten you just lost. There's a difference in I hate to lose and having an unbelievable will to win. I've got a bunch that's got an unbelievable will to win. And it's just fun for me as a coach. They make me better. They keep me on top of my game.
They do.
They do.
No, y'all are playing faster. From the beginning of the season, you can see the coalescing coming together, and it's exciting.
It's 9 new pieces. We had to figure out how to get them all on the same page and add their personalities. You've got quite a few personalities on our team, and very strong-headed women. And I couldn't scrimmage, honestly, a lot inter-squad before the season started because it would get too intense.
Much.
It would just get too intense, and I'd have to just say, no, we're going to play against the guys. Bring on the dream team and let them come play.
Been a lot of fun watching
It
you.
has been fun.
Is it happening a lot quicker than you thought?
Of course. Absolutely.
You were, being honest with yourself, how long were you thinking it would have taken to get to this point?
You give yourself, see, what's unfortunate is people expect you to do things quickly, because at Baylor we did it in 5 years, won that first championship. That's unheard of.
It was a lot.
There's no blueprint, no book to read for that.
Right.
So in my mind, I'm thinking I can get us to a very good point within 5 years. I really can.
Kim, that we opened Modesto with the taco concept, because tacos and tequila and whiskey was kind of the rage, and that's what a lot of people think the tacos where you need to stay, but there's a lot of good stuff here. So.
Well, I'm sitting here trying to decide what I want. You know, we had, of course, a lot of Mexican food in Texas. And Gordon, I had to learn to eat Mexican food because growing up down
you
here,
didn't have,
we didn't have that much of that. We had fresh seafood, any kind you
But
wanted. And
you
when
were born in California.
I only lived there for 6 months. My dad was finishing up the Marine Corps.
Okay. How'd you get to
And then to
Louisiana?
Hammond. That's where my dad's people all were.
Okay.
And so I was only born there. I'm not a Cali girl. I let that
you don't
that
have much
be
Cali
known.
in you. I
No.
agree. No.
So I had to learn to try different Mexican dishes and started liking it.
Can you cook?
I can cook to survive. I don't like to cook. It takes too much time. I can follow a recipe, but
So at a Thanksgiving meal, with
Doesn't cook ever.
Thanksgiving meal with the family, Christmas meal, how are y'all doing that? Who's cooking what?
we have Miss Cheryl. You know, Miss Cheryl cooks for us, and depending on if Mackenzie's at her in-laws' house, of course they have a big family, but we don't starve. We figure it out.
Right.
I don't ever remember her cooking.
Oh, look, I make a mean batch of frosted
I
flakes.
used to tell people she made a great ham sandwich.
I make good
I don't
sandwiches.
even think she made me a ham sandwich.
Is it only Thanksgiving or Christmas, or like just in general?
Exactly, John. Don't believe that. Don't
I don't know.
believe
I
that.
don't remember Thanksgiving, Christmas.
So
being
a little
gone.
trick that we do, my wife's learned for Thanksgiving and Christmas is there's so many great restaurants that do really good things on their menu. And you just go and you pick this thing from this restaurant, this thing from this restaurant, this thing. You get it the day before, and it's really, really yummy. I mean, that's what we do for the most part now.
Well,
Yeah, like
that's
you go to
easy.
Chris's
That's
for their
good.
sweet.
That's
their-
smart.
Yeah, their sweet potato souffle, and you go to.
There's
You know,
something about just people in the kitchen who's getting it. But I will never say no to that.
no,
sweet potato.
all the stuff. Yeah, your mom brings
Yes.
in, and she cooks some. It turns out great.
Well, and there's this one breakfast casserole that I mean, that's just something I love to have in the freezer. And we
Yeah, over
travel,
holidays.
pop it in the oven. And the kids were like, well, Mom, why don't you just learn how to make it? I'm like, well, why would I? This is so good.
Fair point.
Let's just go with this one.
Yeah.
Touche.
Yeah.
I enjoy
Messed up with
cooking.
the thing.
It's just the cleaning up that's not fun.
He
Yeah.
does steak.
You cook.
Hey, he can cook a
But
mean
he's-
steak.
He's a cook.
His expertise is steak.
My best is steak, but
Where do you like to buy your steak?
the best we've gotten were online, I think.
Oh,
He
one of
loves
those, one of
Wagyu.
those, yeah, Wagyu.
Wagyu.
But
5, baby.
any
I'm
ribeye-
telling you.
What's the market by your house that they have good
Maxwell's
ribeyes?
will
Maxwell's.
have-
So they have good,
Maxwell's
they
will
have
have
good steak there. They have good
Yeah.
ribeyes.
So, Kramer, tell everybody what you're doing right now, what your plans are, and then the Mackenzie Old House. So, what's happening in your life?
I'm leaving in about 3 weeks for Palm Beach, Florida for spring training.
Okay.
And then I will be gone, whether I'm in the big leagues or in AAA. I don't even know what organization. Who knows after last year I was
Right.
moved around so much. But I'll either be in big leagues or AAA until October. Hopefully I'm on a playoff roster
Right.
late October. So I'm going to be busy here pretty soon.
And if you're looking back right now at your professional careers so far, what are the highlights or lowlights or kind of things that you're taking from it so far to learn for the next part?
I mean, in my professional career, there's a lot more lowlights. There's a lot of lonely times. It's not a glamorous life in the minor leagues, and that's why a lot of guys get out of it. You're not around your family. It's hard to have a wife or a girlfriend while you're
Right.
doing it because you're traveling so much. But last year, making my debut and my family being there was so cool because
I remember. I
they're-
text your mom.
Yeah,
That's it.
because it wasn't just for me. Like they were a part
Yeah.
of this journey since I was
Isn't that great?
in little league. So like they would take me to all the tournaments.
Uh-huh.
They would buy me all the nice batting gloves and
Right.
gloves, gear, whatever I needed. So getting to see all of their faces when they walked in the stadium made all those low moments.
So you are a close family, you would say?
I would say so. Yeah. We were all kind of on the journey together. So seeing their faces made all those struggles in the minor leagues really feel worth it.
Yeah, good for
But
you. Congrats.
It's not easy, man. It's
It's a
minor
grind.
leagues is-
It's a
Coming to
grind.
get you, John.
Goodness gracious.
Sucking that blood out of you, baby.
That's a party bruise there or something.
Uh-huh.
What is that thing?
No,
Just fighting to save, different people's lives.
it's a hard life, but there's nothing else I'd rather be.
Right.
I've worked my whole life to get
Yeah.
to this point, so just that close to really breaking through.
Right.
and
How old are you now?
Just turned 28.
So you got plenty of time.
Got time. So.
Yeah, plenty of time. Healthy, no injuries, no nothing like that?
No, last year I was battling a wrist injury that really affected me, and it happened about halfway through the year. But I don't have time to get
Right.
surgery. I didn't even tell any of the teams really that it happened, so it's just something I dealt with on my own. I don't have the luxury of taking time out or getting the surgery. So I just dealt with it and
Right.
taped it up and played through it.
And lastly, quick prediction for the LSU baseball team this year.
I
A lot of
everybody-
expectations out there, huh?
Everybody's giving them such high expectations, and they're definitely that talented, but you just never know until you're faced with that adversity. No team,
Yep.
Your team's only as good as your leadership, so I'm not there every day to see their leadership and, what they're like inside the locker room.
Right.
I know Jay's going to do a great job. They've got the talent to be really special, but
Right.
I've seen talented teams not do much and not make it to Omaha. So
Okay.
I think that Jay will do a great job, and I think that this will be the first year that they'll go back to Omaha
Good.
since
That'd
2017.
be great to
so
go back and watch it.
I'm
Huh?
hoping, but
In a little while.
it's just going to come down to leadership, and I think that they'll be able to do it this year.
What are you doing in life right now
What am
besides
I
being a
doing?
mom? Outside of being a mom, which is not,
That's all I'm doing.
that's
That
about
takes up all the
full-time
time.
job, right?
Pretty much. Thank you.
All right, guacamole down there. So,
Honestly, that's about it.
Pick them up.
Ever since, I was on staff at Baylor, and then when she came, we stayed in Waco, and I became stay-at-home for a while. 'cause
are you
was-
missing it?
Oh, I miss it. Definitely. I miss it every day. My whole life has been around sports, either playing it or watching it or coaching it. So I miss it every day, but I get to be with my kids every day too now, so
So you could see yourself going back into coaching one day?
I definitely could if the situation was right. I know it will always be probably
Coach?
tough
I'm
for anyone
good,
to
baby.
hire
Thank
me
you.
with coaching,
Right.
because
Right.
probably so
Right.
one way of doing things, because I grew up with
Yeah.
her as a mom
No, there's
and a
not.
coach
No, I mean,
and my boss.
Yeah.
So I've pretty much seen every side of my mom. But it could happen. I've talked about high
How-
school positions.
how are you like her and how are you not like her?
Ooh, I like that one.
Uh-oh.
I think I'm like her in the intellectual part and like grammar. Like instilled it in me
Right.
to where I can't help but correct people.
I know.
She does that all the time.
Right.
Yeah. I think I got some, like we said earlier, the competitiveness just coming out in a different way when I played.
Right.
Not quite as loud, but it was still there just as much.
The 30-30-30.
Stop. I didn't play as much my first years.
Right.
so it
Mackenzie's
still
a
gives me
great
hard
writer.
time.
Really?
I often told her she should write a book. She's just very,
Very good at it.
yes,
Okay.
very natural.
You're smart, man.
Thanks. But,
Two valedictorians, left and
so
right. Okay.
that's
How are you not like her?
how am I
maybe?
not like her.
Uh-huh.
I'm more sensitive, I'd say.
Probably
I
a
think-
lot.
I think I know what you mean. You know.
Probably a lot more sensitive, or she shows her
Understatement of the
emotions
year.
more than I do.
Yes.
And that's a great quality to have.
Right.
Hey, maybe that's something we show emotions. That's similar, and the difference
Right.
is that they're on different ends of the spectrum.
I would say it controls the emotions better.
Yeah.
Really,
I control my.
You control your
It
emotions
takes a
really.
lot for me to get.
So you're
really
saying
worked up.
people can tell your mom's worked up sometimes? Do you think so?
Sometimes.
Can't imagine
We
we
that.
don't
Can't
control,
imagine
we
on
don't
the
control
sideline.
our emotions.
Can't
I know.
imagine.
Me- okay,
She does.
that's one of
Yeah.
their similarities.
She
Can't do it, yeah.
controls it a
They
lot better than
are
us.
so similar and can't like hold their tongue,
Yeah.
keep things in. So you can imagine when
Yeah,
they
I
disagree
could.
on something.
Uh-huh.
But I'm
Interesting,
the
huh?
in between, and it takes a
Okay.
whole lot to get me riled up. So that's
So,
definitely a difference.
you know, I know almost every woman in town would want to know fashion sense. and do you get a fashion sense from your mom?
Well, I did not.
Did not.
Well, first off,
Hell no.
I don't
are we
really.
giving her credit?
I
for all
really
of her
don't
fashion
have this
sense?
great fashion sense,
I
but
disagree
I
with
like
you.
to dress nice. So, look,
She gets
I'm gonna
help,
date myself.
too.
Okay, Godshalls. Y'all remember
No,
Godshalls?
forgot y'all's.
Okay,
Yeah.
back in the day,
I
before
forgot
school started, every August,
yeah,
my mother
yeah.
and I would drive to Baton Rouge and we'd go to Godshalls and I'd pick out my clothes because
Right.
I wanted to dress nice. As I've gotten older, I don't like to shop, but I like to dress nice. And so my assistants or my friends, they see something, they'll go,
Thanks, get
get
it.
it, take it to Kim's house, leave it. I try it on, oh yeah, it looks good. Now, since I've been in Baton Rouge, it's been
It's a lot
them
blinkier.
delivering the blingy,
So you were
yeah.
not a sequence
It was-
lady before you
it was
arrived in
not-
Baton Rouge?
I've
really?
never even really met her except one time. And they're like, would she wear this? Would she? Well, sure. Who wouldn't?
Well, you started a little mini craze around.
So,
I
you
think,
know, they have enough
Switched it up.
assistants that keep me, but
Because
now I
if you
will
see-
say this, if I don't
I didn't
like,
order it.
if I don't like something,
I'm sorry,
She'll
I
tell
have
you.
2 grilled shrimp.
I already there.
okay,
I have a brisket and a carne asada and a shrimp.
John Gordon, did you order?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably yours.
Yeah.
Those are flautas right
Yes,
there?
here are the
Thank you.
flautas, guys.
Here, you cut those up. So,
but like Kramer will wear things that are very expensive and I'll go, you paid how much for that check? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So he is I like to tell him he is my girl. He's my girl that gotta look good, you know?
yeah.
And Mackenzie and I will just sometimes just buy the simple things, the things that may be cheap, we don't care. But oh no,
like
Kramer
those.
won't be seen without being
Like
in
if you
something.
see her every day,
take
she's
a lot of pride
gonna
in
be in almost like a polo or a
Kramer, what's the point?
and sweatpants.
And no makeup
Right.
and
the
tennis
sweatpants
shoes.
are probably gonna have Clorox on them.
That's
because
my
she's always
everyday-
cleaning something.
This is just
in the yard.
professional when I have to,
Right.
I'm the
yeah.
opposite of that.
Where he
I take a
cares
lot of
about.
pride.
Yes, he
No
cares
matter
about the
where-
brand.
You want to look. You want to look good.
I think he wants the
Grocery-
brands.
grocery
he wants
store,
to
her
look, no matter
games.
what he's doing.
John, don't listen to him and don't ever think you have to do
But
that.
that's partly her fault as well, because when I was in kindergarten, I remember she made me dress myself for school every day, and she taught me how to match my clothes, and she instilled in me early that I need to take pride in what I wear and how
Just
I
be
wear them.
neat.
So
Clean cut, be
I've
neat.
just always taken a lot of pride in the clothes I wear, regardless of where
All
I'm
right.
going.
And I struggle with the long hair. If mom could get a hold to it,
Well,
I would
baseball
cut it
players
off.
and hair.
I know it. I
Yeah.
love the clean cut,
Yeah.
short look. I
That's-
don't like all this, you
So-
know?
But baseball players and hair is a whole different ballgame.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Oh,
something
Tell me
yeah.
if
different.
I don't like it long, I'm gonna go.
Like, yeah, so it's like,
She says.
Thank you.
yeah, he does, you know? But
So they're saying that you don't.
that's what he says. And I'm like, yeah, but mama's the only girl that matters
That's
now.
right. You remember that, JG?
That's right. Mom's the only girl that matters. And you have sisters, so, you know, sisters matter. Yeah, just eat your food, right?
Have you ever fallen down on the heel with the heels on the sideline? Because I think people are waiting to. How can she do it?
And if it
How can you do
happens,
it?
you know,
You
I
did?
guess because I did what?
Oh, but you did rip your pants once.
Oh, I have ripped my pants
in the
before.
middle of a game.
Because you get in the crowd.
Actually, I've ripped my jackets before because
But
when
people
I do
ask
the
me why.
pump, but
Because they know we know each other. Why,
Too aggressive.
yeah. Why does she crouch? Why does she get in that crouch? Why
because
does
I see better from down
Okay.
there. I can see better.
you can see better.
You feel like you're a part of it and you're
Taylor,
involved.
you hear that? So
Yeah.
Taylor, my videographer, he is.
Yeah.
We have a really good video of you
I
crouch.
can just see everything, and
She got
but I've never
tackled out
fallen.
on
And
video.
why do I wear the heels? I guess when you're short, I'm 5'4.5". I guess we want to think that if we're taller, we look thinner or skinnier, or you know, I don't know. But I've always
You're 5'4".
Yeah.
5'4".
Do you?
I guess you always have the heels on.
and I'm always
5'4".
around those tall girls, you know. So I don't know. I've always worn heels.
She's 5'4", didn't get blessed with
And
that.
I gave those short legs to Kramer.
And what height they did have, they gave to me for a girl.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
I mean, I'm 5'9",
Okay.
but
All right, good height.
decent
So-
height for a girl.
That's tall for a girl.
And
Yeah.
but he would never let me hear the end of it. And then my son's gonna be like
He does look
6'2".
tall.
He's going to be about 6'3".
Um,
And so
Yes.
Kramer can't handle it. He's like, I would have given anything for those inches.
I didn't
so, does anyone ever send you a video of yourself after a game and you watch? You go, what was that thing? You know.
No, I have had still shots like some of. I don't do social media, so
Where's the video of her with just the intensity?
the still shots are sent by my coaches or somebody, and I'll go, or they'll say, "What were you saying to that referee at that time?" Or, you know, and a lot of times I can't remember.
Yeah.
You're just in the
I
heat
can
of the
see that,
moment.
yeah.
I can't remember,
I can see that.
but no, I don't.
Love you, right?
Well, you know that a lot of people, obviously, they love watching you coach and your team, but they all also like watching you and your passion
I've been
and what's
told
going to happen.
that.
They do.
I've been told that,
So
but you know.
I sit down on the bench, you know, on the court side, not far from him, and I do spend a decent amount of time just watching you coach the kids.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see how you're going to do that. I love how you work the referees. You got to do that. There's an art to that.
That's right.
You do it very well. And then when you watch it back and forth, you tend to watch you. So
You have to understand, I played like that.
Oh,
I played with passion. I coached with passion, and I never wanted to play for a passive coach.
Right.
And I hurt with them. I hurt
Right,
for
right.
them. I get excited with them.
Right.
And I just feel like if they know I'm fighting for them over there and I'm
Right.
feeling it with them,
Yeah.
they're going to give me everything they have.
So
And
this is a little video. Taylor, you shot this, right?
oh
So
boy.
this isn't bad. We got some other good ones.
Oh,
Right?
boy.
Just
Let
press
me
the play
look.
button and you can.
Okay.
We'll show it. But see, it's a really good. You look great in the photo. The clothes look great.
Because it's not as gaudy as you think.
Oh boy.
Isn't that great?
That is a great shot. And I'm probably turning around to my coach and saying, why did you have her guarding her?
Right.
Or write that down. I need to talk about that in the
So-
locker room at halftime.
Taylor, you're not scared of her anymore, are you? Taylor is like, she scares me.
Listen, great story. You need to get the two of them. He said something about people being scared of me.
Yeah, Taylor's like, my videographer's like, I'm
They
scared
had
of her.
friends, and they were like inviting their friends to come home with them, and they're like, your mom, she scares me. But
Oh,
when
yeah.
they get to my house,
Yeah.
and I'm on the rug with them, wrestling
I can
with
see
them,
it. You're-
and they're
you're
just
lovely.
like, oh, your mom is really
So
cool. So
Taylor
that's what
shot,
they see.
Taylor
They
shot
just
this
see
on YouTube. Play it. Look how good of it. Look how good the video is. Look how good she looks.
I'm working. I'm
and then
focused. I'm
look how
intense.
focused and intense, the crouch, the whole bit. So
Yeah.
we're gonna use that. Isn't that great?
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
I'm just into what I do,
You are.
and
Yeah,
just
show your mom. Yeah, watch this.
I don't have a passive
Look how
bone in
good
my
she-
body when I'm competing. It
Look at her,
just
just down the crouch.
it's,
Are you in a sense like not blacked out? Like you're not
yes,
even knowing what you're
yes.
doing?
Oh, without question. Like I know Gordon has courtside seats, but I don't know where he sits. Okay, I know that I learned, like for example, after the games last year, I'd have to go do TV, and I see the Lipsy sitting there. They wouldn't move till I came to do the. But I don't know. I know the band's down on this end.
Right.
And after the game, I'll go down there and thank the I don't know. I know Kramer and my seats are behind. You know, and then every now and then I hear one of my assistants.
The only time she'll pay
holler.
attention is if Cannon and Sage are there, because they're counting on her to look at them.
Yeah,
And I'll
before
have
the
to get-
game,
and
I
know
will
she'll
give them.
forget. She walks past, and then she's on her way back. I
I
have
think,
to like
I
flag
think JG
down.
said she's blacked out
She
almost.
does. I have
Yeah.
to flag
Seriously,
down the
you're
assistants.
you're
and the
so
assistants
tunnel
tell her.
vision
Right.
and focused. You know why I come out so late? I don't come out on the court till about 2 minutes before tip, and it's because I learned from Leon Barmore, if you come out there too early, people think that they can just come up and talk to you.
Right.
And you don't want to be rude.
struck, right. He
You're
was at Tech,
focused. Yeah,
right?
he
Yeah.
was my coach at Tech, and so he said, don't ever come out on that court till enough time to go shake the opponent coach's hand and stay focused. And that's why I wait. You'll always see I start coming down that tunnel with about
knows that?
2.5 minutes, and that's why, because I will want to talk to everybody, but they don't understand. I can't. I'm in my zone. That's
When
right.
you didn't get that head coaching job at Tech back around 2000, did that affect
Well, you know,
I
I
mean,
got it. I got it.
Oh, you didn't get the 5-year contract.
They wouldn't give me the 5-year
right.
contract, and
And that was just a principal stand.
It's definitely a principal stand. I had spent all my career there as a player, 4 Final Fours, 2 national championships, graduated summa cum laude. What is
Right.
more to do? And
Right.
then I turned down 3 head coaching jobs. And I thought, what more do I have to do to prove to you my loyalty to this place? I've been here since I was 18 years old, 15 years as an assistant coach, associate
Yep.
head coach, and it was all principal. Principal. And they started with a 3-year, I wouldn't say they, it was Dan Renault. I don't mind telling
right.
it, it's in my book. Started with a 3-year contract, went to a 4 and wouldn't budge. And why Baylor? Baylor just happened to be the school that was on the phone at that
that time, right.
Timing is everything in
Right,
life.
yep.
And I went and visited Baylor and told the AD, if I go back, I want you to know it's not about negotiating for more money like a lot of coaches do. If I go back and they give me 5 years, I'm staying in
Right.
state. I'm staying home. And didn't budge, and the rest is history.
There you go.
And I say it all the time, Gordon, thank God for unanswered prayers.
Right. Yeah. So your
Honestly.
faith's important.
Oh,
I think.
listen,
I've learned that. People know
I
that.
don't, I tell people all the time, I'm a Christian, but I'm a sinner also.
Yeah.
And
Sinner and a saint.
I don't, I'm not fake. I was at a Baptist university for 21 years, met some of the most wonderful people, but they accepted me for my badness. I like to tell people I'm a sinner too. And, you know,
Every Christian's a sinner.
I just don't, I'll say a choice word, don't get around
Right,
me if
yep.
it offends you, and just pray for me.
That's right.
But your values and your morals are how you live your life.
Right.
And how you raise your children.
So
And
how much in your role as the head coach do you try to instill that, work that with your girls?
Well, I'm real with them.
Right.
I can get down and dirty with them if I need to.
Yeah. And
And
you know
I
what?
mean,
That's
I
why.
can get down and dirty,
Yeah, that's
but
why
yet
Angel-
I'll come back
Yeah.
and I will tell them, okay, it's time to say the Lord's Prayer.
Right.
You're real.
Right.
You treat
That's
them.
why Angel came to you. I asked her, so why'd you come to coach?
Said I
Basically
need,
what you just said there.
she said I needed realness. I needed
did.
people that weren't afraid to get up in my
That's right.
face and say the things I needed to hear.
That's right.
And don't take it personal.
Right.
Don't take it personal.
Right.
Sometimes I think today's athletes, they think your intensity and getting on them is to belittle them.
Right.
I have a way of doing it. I have a way of getting your attention and making you get angry at me, but run through that wall like I'm going to show
Right.
you, coach. And I played for coaches like that. They brought out the best in me. And I tell them all the time that I may get on you back, but I've got your back.
I think you can see that.
Yeah, those kids know.
They do.
They,
I even said that. You'll see it in the interview with Angel. I said, you know, coach has your back. He goes, oh yeah, I feel it. I know it. Yeah.
oh yeah.
And you got to have that. In
Absolutely.
anything, whether you're leading a team or leading a company, they have to know that.
That you don't appreciate your coaches really until you're 20 and 30 years down
That's
the
right.
road.
Down the road, and you think back on them. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So when you're not coaching, whether it's in season or out, what do you like to do?
Be in the yard.
In the yard.
Yard work. I love yard work.
Planting and pruning and the whole bit.
Any of it, any of the above. Going to nurseries. If I see a plant I want, I'll find a place to hang it outside. In Baton Rouge, my yard doesn't dictate me planting a lot of things,
Right.
but I'll sit out in the back by the little cocktail pool that I have,
Right.
and I'll watch sports on TV.
Right.
And then if I'm in Waco, big, much bigger yard,
Right.
and can do more in planting stuff.
Do you travel?
No,
Not a lot.
I travel to see grandkids and to see
Grandkids,
Kramer
where they're
play.
going,
I'll
okay.
go see Kramer play. I've traveled enough in my life that I don't want to be this traveler. That's what I spend my retirement on. And if I want to take my kids to Disney World, certainly.
You ought to do that.
If I want to
Right.
take them snow skiing, absolutely. But a lot of people want to go see the world. I've seen it. I've seen just about every Eastern European
Right.
country there is because I played there in the summer with USA Basketball.
That's right.
So there's really not a whole heck of a lot I want to go see. I took the team to Italy
Right.
years ago.
That's good. Yeah.
We're talking now, maybe trying to go to Australia as
Yeah.
a team or do something like that.
That'd be great.
So, yeah.
What about read? Do you like to read?
Yes.
What
but
do you
I'm
read?
behind.
What do you read?
Let me tell you what I'm reading now.
Okay.
I told Kramer yesterday. Kelvin Schiraldi, he played for the Texas Longhorns. He was a pitcher that played with Roger Clemens. He wrote a book called The Arena. And in there, he talks about growing up as a kid playing sports and the lessons in sports. And it's just an easy read and one I like.
Okay.
And I don't know why somebody
Right.
sent it to me.
Okay.
But I'll read true stories. I don't want to read novels. I don't want to read, things that are fiction. I want real things, and I like to read. If you go to my office or go to my offices or at home, just books I've read.
Right.
I like to read. But I'm behind right now. I've got a stack of them from Christmas.
Right.
But I just
Have you messed up that?
don't do it as much as I would like.
How many more years do you see yourself doing what you're doing?
I don't put a number on it. If I stay healthy,
Oh, I love it.
if I stay healthy and if I put a product on that floor where the fans love and come, do it until you can't do it anymore. I'm not a lifer.
Right.
I think there are a lot of coaches that don't know when to step away.
Right.
I'm not one of those that is going to die on that sideline because I'm 70 and 80 years old. I might die on the sideline, but I just, Gordon, what more is there for me to do in my career? I have done everything. I have been blessed. The joy I have now is to watch the fans just go crazy, and that makes me feel good.
I can answer that for her. What does she have? A national championship?
Well,
For her home state?
yeah. So how has the experience been here so far at LSU?
Oh, just people. You've got people coming in from Waco and Baylor tomorrow, and they're like, we just have to see this for ourselves because we see it on TV and it seems so loud. And I said, it is. But Coach, we would sell out here and we just didn't think it was that loud. And I said, let me help you with that. It's called They're All Liquored Up. We sell alcohol at the games. So they are excited to come, and it's just, it's fun times. That place will be rocking tomorrow night. No. I have lots of energy.
I don't know how, if she was back in Texas, I don't know how much longer she would have done it. I really don't. Because there really was nothing else.
For some reason, I was about to guess who it was.
But like her being back
But
there, you
I
can
don't
see
think. I guess it
Wow,
was
good enough.
He did the exact same thing.
You're seeing people you haven't seen in 40 years buying season tickets, those that aren't even LSU fans or LSU alums. You grow up here.
the brand is so big, the ceiling's so high. It's really fun.
It's fun. You know it. You've been there. You've experienced it.
He's enjoying it more now than ever. And I'm like, Kramer,
Yeah, it's so cool that
quit
you're.
asking me questions. When I come home, I don't want to talk about.
No, he's proud of his mom.
Well, yeah, but
That's
it's
all. He's
because it's
into
his
her
school.
career.
It's my school
It's
now.
his school.
I love it.
Mom
I'm asking
and-
about recruiting.
Yeah, asking me about recruiting,
You got a good
asking me
recruiting
why
class.
I took her out of the game, why didn't you play? And I'm like, Kramer, you've never been so invested. He goes, it's my school. So it's
right.
like he's off
Yeah,
the
my
charts.
school and my mom. You're a huge fan. You're a huge LSU fan. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know sports. I was just talking to you today. All the little.
That's what I told
For sure.
my husband.
That's all we did growing up.
Yeah.
We didn't.
Here, you're close
I
enough.
never remember playing with toys with my mom. I remember wrestling with her and playing sports. That's it. She would throw me a BP in the backyard. She would catch my bullpens until I got to about 12 years old when I hit her in the leg. She threw her glove at me and said, I'll never do this again.
That's why I thought my ankle was broken. It hit my ankle bone.
She would throw us passes in the living
Yeah.
room. It gave me a concussion.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Because this head, this massive head, went straight into my temple.
We could make things into a game
Oh yeah. I
and be
can see
very
that.
competitive.
Your
Just
group.
anything sitting at home. Just who can hit that wall right there a certain number of times. And,
She was the exact same.
We didn't do anything other than sports.
but she comes from a family of
Yeah,
ball
athletes.
players
She
and
just didn't
athletes.
have the competitive energy. I kind of had to master
Not
that
as
in
much. Not as much.
Well,
myself. My sisters obviously weren't. I wasn't grinding against them. Honestly, it just might have been him bullying up on me.
but his dad played basketball.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's there. It's just they're probably the
played
smart
basketball,
ones
too.
Yeah, I
in
played
the
a little-
family as they realized it wasn't going to last forever. So go do something else.
That's right. That's right.
It's not going to last forever.
No.
So, but it's good to be back home. And it, you know, what makes it fun is that we're bringing in a crowd of people that never gave a
Okay.
flip about women's
You're
basketball.
so right.
And that excites me.
No, it
Because they're seeing the women at the elite level. I tell John, come out there and play with us sometime, and you won't come back. Because Angel, you won't come back because you'll go, you know, I really don't know how hard I can go. I don't know how high I can jump. And Angel will say, bring it on.
Yeah, she
And
will.
then you'll leave there and you'll go, I'm going to marry me an athlete. I got to find me an athlete. Kramer gets out there sometimes. My ex-husband, that's how we ended up together. He wanted to come out there, and he was a former quarterback, and he came, and we were really good at Louisiana Tech at that time. And I think he decided, you know, I better find me somebody that likes sports. And we played a lot of one-on-ones together. And
I think
place first
what people don't realize about even my friends, like they don't want to go to a women's sporting event. Like, it doesn't look fun. Like
you play below the rim.
it's a different game. Like,
Oh, it is.
I want to go to an NBA game or a boys college game. I'm like, just come with me.
come.
Yeah.
I promise you'll enjoy it. They go. Now all my friends are fully invested,
Yeah.
asking me about the recruits,
Oh, yeah.
and they're all
yeah.
But it-
all into and
I mean,
obsessed.
that
with
was
it.
my husband. He never.
Yeah, it's
grew
a
up
better
with
brand of
two
basketball.
brothers,
It,
like,
I enjoy it.
Way more fun than you'd ever expect.
I don't want to see ISO and
never
one
watched
guy
a
out
women's
drive and
sport-
dish. I mean,
women's sport in my
you
life.
The
actually.
atmosphere is way better than you'd
Oh, it
ever
is.
expect it to be, especially here.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well, I tell all those egotistical, male, macho men, I say, look, there's nothing worse than watching girls that can't play. But you know what's worse is watching guys that can't play. Come watch the elite play, and you'll go, okay, I can watch this. It may be below the rim, but I can watch this.
Right.
And that's how I
It is.
started getting fans at Baylor. And then coming here, you know, they all watched or either played with me, and they're like, no, I need to go see. And it's just been
She's a show by herself on the sidelines.
it's been
Completely.
great. It's been great.
I hardly watch the game.
She's a show.
Stop,
she's a show on her
Shannon.
own.
No, watch what's
My
going
neighbors
on
still
out
take
there.
bets on what she's going to be
Sorry,
wearing each game.
Yeah.
They come up to me every day. Okay, what do you think? This
But-
is what I think is going to be.
I'm not responsible for what I say. I'm telling you, because I can say some pretty intense things. And I told, you know, at Baylor, it's all the Baptists, and it was so funny. The president that hired me, he was a minister, and we would talk, and I finally looked at him, and I love him to death, Dr. Robert Sloan. He's now at Houston Christian. And I asked him, I said, do you know my background? Oh, yeah, you're fiery, you're from Louisiana. I said, no, do you know my background? Oh, yeah. I said, look, are you going to fire me if I say a choice word in a timeout? I said, I'll never embarrass you on TV. I don't do any of that. I have pride. But I said, if you come to a practice or you're in that timeout, sometimes a good, strong adjective will get their attention.
That's right.
He just laughed, Shannon. That's what he did. And I said, okay, I can work here. He just laughed. And I had 21 wonderful years there.
A lot of times, I think people from the outside, when they're watching, they don't really give credit. They think that she's just, you know, so emotional and she just does these crazy things. But a lot of times, there's a reason behind it. She's doing it on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
Or like there's tactic to it.
There are
Or
no,
they
no
think
doubt.
She's just yelling at
They
the
just
ref.
think
A lot
she's
of times,
crazy. Oh,
a lot of
lot
times
of-
it's a joke.
A lot of
them are
times I'm
jokes.
telling them funny things, and I'll say, do not smile, because I want everybody to think I'm chewing your you-know-what out right now. I said, don't smile.
That is so great.
I've been around a long enough time.
Yeah,
They
you
all know me, and they're just like, Mulkey, you something else. I tried to get tossed at the SEC tournament against Kentucky. They wouldn't throw me out of the game because I was trying to get us ready for the playoffs
Right.
from the year before.
Right.
We had some horrible call the last of the Connecticut game, and so I'm thinking, we just got beat. We can't win this game. I'm trying to get tossed, and they wouldn't even throw me out. And I said, come on.
I think we can close this out, but I do want to thank you, Kim and Kramer and McKenzie, for spending a little time with the McKernan family, and hopefully people get to know each of y'all a little bit better and understand your family. And we're just so thrilled you're here in Baton Rouge doing what you're doing. Can't wait to watch tomorrow night and all the future nights in the next 10 years, hopefully.
We thank you.